Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we return now to the real final best of three here between My Insanity's QueenE and LDLC's Miyako. This is going to be the last one, and they're resetting pretty much, so they start once again on Dead Wing. So we might have a long game here on our hands, and yeah, now
it's been a long night.
it's been a very long night. I've been casting all day. I've been casting since 12.
Yeah, you are a champ, my friend.
How many hours of that? Yeah, it's probably going to be a good 7 hours for me.
Props.
7, 8. So I mean, it's okay.
Still, your voice is pretty crisp, so
Is
I mean,
it?
you're fit for this, man.
Thank you. I think it's like, I've suffered. I remember, like, I've had casts where my voice is, like, at the end of it, it's like, yeah, well, so anyway, spawning bottom left.
You're pushing so hard to get your words out. I know the feeling.
Yeah, it's a pain, but guys, we have this game, and here we go. Let's jump into it, right into the action. So, spawning bottom right here on Dead Wing, game number 1 in this second best of 3, representing Team LDLC and France. She is the Purple Terran, Miyako.
And of course, it's a Cheryl, of course. Super awesome, of course. And her opponent, as always, in the top right position, playing from My Insanity, it's our Swedish Red Protoss, QueenE.
Yeah. So in that last series, of a bit of an upset, Miyako actually playing really well. So managed to. What?
Like a white box on your screen.
Oh, yeah, that's just because it's like a bug with GameHeart. But
Awesome.
Anyway, what was I saying?
It's a big upset.
Yeah, it's a bit of an upset that Miyako manages to, break QueenE in that best of 3. But I mean, we have the other one. She has the chance here to get her revenge. Now, gas opening with the Raxus. It's going to be a Reaper first from Miyako, and it's actually rallied in the right direction.
Cool.
QueenE is going to be going for that single gas for now, and we'll see what she decides to do now.
It's not on cross spawn, so this could be peculiar. She's sending out that SCV scout though.
Yeah, we'll see where that goes now. Gas has finished. To be honest, there's not too much to talk about at the early stages of the game, because I mean, there's nothing crazy. I think both of these players are going to play fairly textbook, like, have that sort of laid back.
Yeah, we've
approach.
seen so many macro games tonight. Like
yeah,
stalling
I
into
think
mid game, and
most
then we
games
start to get to see some action.
Yeah, like most
big
games have been
forces are
macro.
conquering together.
Most games have been macro.
Yeah, every game has been macro today, more or
arguably
less.
at least.
More or
So.
less. But anyway, QueenE and Miyako in this last best of 3. Who are you rooting for right now? I'm a bit torn apart.
I mean, I think Miyako has played really well, but I mean, QueenE has also displayed some really like high octane plays. So
I mean, it's getting late. We're getting tired. We're playing in the same time zone.
Nah, I live for this.
Yeah, you are.
I live for this.
But I mean, our players, they have been playing now for like 4 hours.
Yeah, it's been a few hours, and I mean, they must definitely be a bit fatigued at least. But I mean, I'm personally rooting for QueenE.
It's Swedish.
To take this.
You have to hope for the Swedes. As a Swede, that's like.
She's playing the best race.
Oh yeah, for you.
And to be honest, like QueenE also spends a lot of time practicing. She works really hard. So
she's streaming a lot as well.
Yeah, she streams a lot. So
probably a lot of her fans are
yeah,
tuning
like
in right now and rooting for her. That's
probably.
Awesome.
I hope.
She has a bit of a fan base, so that's pretty nice.
Yeah, if you root for QueenE, type 1 in the chat, and if you're rooting for Miyako to take this, type 2. I hope Miyako has some fans as well here, joining us tonight. But I mean, QueenE, like I said, she practices a lot, and I mean, there's one thing I know a lot of people say like, no, girls don't play a lot, but QueenE, she actually plays a ridiculous amount.
She plays like every day.
I think she plays like 5 or 6 times more than I do. Yeah, so like she actually spends many hours at this. So I think you cannot discredit her from how hard she works with this game, because I mean, she takes it really seriously.
Yeah, she quit her job.
Yeah,
recently,
go full-time streaming.
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, that's passion for the game, and I think it's a great initiative to sort of bring more people into this, and especially just like going to tournaments, getting your name out there.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully
Getting
we'll
more
see.
viewers,
Hopefully
establishing fan base.
what?
Establishing
Oh,
fan
yeah,
base.
she has a fan base already. I
small,
mean,
you have to grow.
she's a name in Sweden and internationally. Like on MYI.
Mhm.
I mean, and they also have some very good, Korean players. So I mean, just because she's associated with that name, that's going to be even more fame.
Mhm.
I think like what I really want in the long term, with like all these tournaments and stuff, that we have like at the top level, we have like a few girls, a few guys playing in the GSL. Like where there is literally nothing separating these players.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's StarCraft 2. You don't need to be a big and buff, macho warrior to do well in this game. And I mean, as you can see,
These women are battling it out.
that is the case.
And I just think it's fun to see that there are women out there who has a big passion for the game and out here are competing against each other
Yeah.
on a more esport and competitive level. I think that's very key because it is hard as a female to get out in the esport community and everything like that. I'm talking from my own perspective. Just going out into a random talk and start talking to random people and they'd be like, oh my god, is that a girl?
Yeah, I mean,
Can you speak again? Is that a girl? Why are you just like 12? So that's life as a rough female gamer.
life is rough, isn't it?
Yeah, but also coming up to this tournament where you are meeting a lot of really good professionals. Like, that's one hard bit for one side, but also this whole community thing that...
Do you mean like when you like playing in IESF and?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're putting your face out there, and it's also very hard to be like the face out.
Oh yeah,
all the
like the
time.
flagship for
Exactly.
like the female part of the community.
Yeah.
I think that's a bit of a dangerous path to walk because I mean, there's going to be a lot of people there. They're gonna,
Both hate and love
argue
you
against
and,
it.
yeah, exactly. So,
But to be honest, like, I can just do I can do nothing else but commend QueenE for her passion for the game, of how hard she works, and how she promotes the game and stuff like that.
yeah, she
so-
doesn't have to prove herself as a girl. She's just in there. She's playing a lot of fun games, and that's what we all are here for in the end.
Yeah.
So,
I think it should, in the end, it's sad that you have to prove yourself as a girl. You should just
Yeah.
have to prove yourself as a player.
exactly.
But I mean, things are progressively getting better. I mean, everyone are working towards that. I hope that, in the future, that will be just, everyone on even terms. But wow, it really became a deep, sort of kind of very political
Monologue
discussion. And that's not what we're here to cover. If you want to talk about politics, you can tweet at me at Tenshi SE2 and start hating on me. So
And so start a discussion because you love that.
I love
I
discussion.
love discussion.
Yeah, like...
It gets rooted out there.
yeah.
Anyway, guys, we have our game.
Yeah, a lot's been happening now. Miyako has got that third CC, and QueenE has seen her with her Observer. We've got Colossus on the way with range, a Twilight Council, and I really like this, the way that QueenE now has Stalkers positioned in a main, ready to greet any sort of drop plays
Mhm.
from her opponent. Supply is dead on even. Upgrades are coming from both attack and combat shield from Miyako, and +1 armor and blink here from QueenE. So they're just gearing up in a very passive sense to, go into yet another macro game.
Yes, indeed. We have this little observer here doing what I wish Miyako had a Viking do at her base to prevent herself from some drops. But what can you do? Miyako has proven herself very good thus far, and I mean, she's going into this next best of 3. She's basically reset against her opponent, and the question is, can she cut it?
Yeah, we'll have to see. Now the third base has been secured here for Miyako. QueenE is going for a third Nexus herself, adding in additional gateways, more Colossi. Now there's a second start port in being added here for Miyako.
Second start,
Yeah, she's going to be having a
Interesting.
lot of Viking and Medevac production, armory as well.
Yeah.
That is actually a thing to point out.
Mhm.
If there is no second starport and no armory around 11 minutes, that's when you really want to keep your eyes open for an SCV pull.
Oh, like we saw in the last game.
Yeah. I mean,
Is
a
this
cute
Reaper
little trivia.
gonna be pulled out?
Ooh, gets the Reaper.
No. You don't want to lose that
Doesn't
Reaper.
matter
It's
too much at this
key.
point.
Yeah, that's pretty key.
But, I mean, still nice to have to control the towers.
Yeah, you do want that map control. Now QueenE has a prominent map control. Now Miyako is forced to just scan her. I wonder if she missed that scan or she was looking for the forces to see what the composition looks like at this moment, so she
Yeah,
knows what
maybe.
she needs to adjust in her own army force. She's pulling out a lot of more Vikings as those 3 Colossus are pointing her into that direction. QueenE is also getting Blink pretty soon. And we now have the numbers in. We actually have a 76.9% routing for QueenE. So
Yeah, she's
we probably have a lot of QueenE fans in the chat right
heavily
now.
favoured. And I mean, in a sense, the pressure is on. Like people expect her to win.
And QueenE is also a bigger name.
Yeah, she is. Like I said,
Miyako maybe is an up and coming. Maybe we can see Miyako
Perhaps.
soon in the bigger upcoming
I mean,
tournaments.
this is my second time casting like a females only tournament.
Yes.
So like I haven't really followed too much of that scene. So the names I know are like Scarlet, Madalisk, QueenE, and Livy B.
Aphrodite, maybe?
What?
Aphrodite, maybe?
Oh yeah, Aphrodite, Flo.
Mm-hmm.
She was on Quantic, but that was way back, like really long ago. What else? Who other female players are there?
I think you covered the most
famous ones.
the most famous names, yes.
Yeah, I guess. But now
So,
warp in of Zealots in the middle line, in the main of Miyako, going to be quite annoying. Not pulling SCVs does actually lose a considerable amount. 5 so far. Okay, not too big. But that's good. Now look at this. QueenE has actually positioned pylons all across the map. I really like this because I mean it really gives the map control, and also can be used as a point to base harassment from.
Yes, indeed. And Miyako actually managed to pull that very good from a defensive point of view. I have to admit, QueenE's map control is extremely good right now. She has so much board control, and she knows exactly where and when to look at her opponent. And she still knows that there's no third base being taken.
I mean, there is a third.
Fourth, sorry.
Yeah, no fourth. And no fourth for QueenE either. She's now adding in Immortals. I do actually think that the addition of this is quite nice, considering the fact that there are Vikings in this go, but now Ghosts as well. I mean, this game has been so passive. The only pressure has been out of QueenE with that little warp in of Zealots.
Yeah.
But I mean, didn't really matter too much at this point in time. And they've just sort of been sitting back.
Just poking at each other, just like,
No,
oh, are
barely.
you macroing this time too? Oh, are you macroing at this time
Like
too?
barely, even that.
Yeah, barely, but still it's a little poke beside these whole macroing.
Yeah, with the Zealots.
Yeah.
Exactly, but now more pylons being dropped here for QueenE. Let's see. There is not a Dark Shrine yet, but like
Storm
once...
finished, by the way.
Huh?
Is Storm finished?
Yes, Storm is done.
Storm is done.
It's a very important upgrade to have. And if QueenE can get some really good Storm flanks, that's what she kind of wants to be looking for. Like the direct front confrontations with her opponent like that. Though, like she struggles a bit in those, but then we have the Dark Shrine. But yeah, like I said, the Storm flanks. That's going to be the big thing in the up-and-coming battles.
Yeah, and she's pulling out a lot of turrets, so she wants to be careful about those drops. Question is, the Viking count is really good so far. She still was only on 3 Colossus. But I think 3 Colossus is quite okay.
Yeah, doing double Robo Immortal right now, and like even though the EMPs do render those hardened shields, worthless, the damage output the Immortals have with those upgrades are actually extremely high versus Marauders, and the army is does have a sizable amount of Marauders in them, and then Ghosts do very badly against Immortals as well, like in terms of flat damage. And this War Prisoner on the right hand side is going to be looking to move in as Miyako moves out with the main army, and QueenE sees this. There's a bunch of Vikings, Ghosts as well in the rear, and now QueenE has to position herself perfectly. The War Prisoner moving in on the right hand side though. Ooh, all those turrets. Does lose that
very
prism.
well prepared for
Yeah,
those
but look at this, the Storm flank. Here we go. Is it going to be the feedbacks? Okay, nice Storm hitting a lot of those Vikings and the Ghosts as well, weakening those Vikings significantly. Here's a big stim, 1 Storm defensively to sort of zone them out, and
she takes all those Colossus down. There's
the
one
EMPs
left
are really big, but there are 2 Storms remaining. 1 Storm on the Vikings, that's actually really big. 2 more Storms coming down from the main. No additional Warpins to sort of help out, but the firepower from these Immortals and additional Zelo Warpins are going to be enough to push her opponent back. 1 more huge Storm there on top of the army, and
oh
so my god, she absolutely annihilates
Miyako,
the entire Terran army of Miyako.
Wow. It actually looked really good for Miyako there. Oh no, all these Vikings.
Yeah, that was absolutely brutal.
That's so unfortunate. I mean, the fight looked really good from a starting point of view, but then she lost to all those Storms.
Yeah, those Storms absolutely
she just
shredded.
got stormed, man.
Yeah, now 2 DTs making their way into the 4th base here. I think I would really like if QueenE just split those up, sent 1 into the main, 1 into the natural, and then pushed out with the main army. 4th is yeah, look at this, more DTs. There are turrets
now we're talking about the QueenE. We know that she's
yes.
making these DT pushings, but Miyako actually takes 1 down.
Yeah, but this 1DT does actually make it past the scan range. And now almost losing that 4th command center. It is burning, but is going to get repaired. Yeah, but SCV's falling right and left in the 3rd base, in the main. And Miyako is not reacting to this. How many workers have been killed at this point? 12. So, I mean, it's not too high. But look at this. Because there's armor, and like the attack upgrade is really late for QueenE, the DTs do not one-shot the SCVs, and this is actually huge, but she's not reacting in the main, and now harassment going on in the natural as well here. QueenE all over the place, doing exactly what she feels comfortable doing.
Yeah, we all know these DT's harassment are very, very keen to QueenE's offensives. Now, she's pulling her armies apart, her opponent's army apart. She's pulling in way more DTs here. She needs to pull off those scans, and but she is pretty safe though. She lost a lot of SCVs though.
Yeah. Falling down to 61. Actually, she's just
workers,
so good with continuously making workers. So I mean, I can almost feel a bit concerned that she'll overmake. But here we go, an engagement on the left-hand side of this 4th base. The Vikings not really going to be doing anything, because I mean, nice storm on those as well. Actually, they clump up. Needs to be careful against these ghosts. No EMPs going down yet. One storm does push those ghosts away, and the Immortals are looking so powerfully on the left-hand side as well. No more Zealot warp-ins though. But with all the Vikings dead, these Colossi are going to be uncontested. And this the SCV is actually being pulled in the 3rd base. This is looking very bad here
She's
for a
pulling
Terran player.
SCVs from her main too, and everything is out here on the line for Miyako. And his first game in this best of 3 is looking way favored into QueenE's position.
Yeah,
a lot of
50
more
supply to
sellers coming in here.
I think QueenE has done it. She has taken this very first game in the final best of 3. Third base is going to die. Okay, it's not going to die. It's just going to float away in flames. But I mean, this is impossible. I mean, Miyako is dead. She's just sort of, you know,
yeah, but she wants to make one last stand. QueenE is making a push in here in the uppercut, but all those marine forces are just melting away under those Colossus force. And these Talkers and Immortals are just too strong for Miyako to even hold back. And there comes the GG. QueenE is cutting it back.
Yeah, takes the first game in this final best of 3 series. I mean, the fight looked a bit shaky. Miyako not really dropping the EMPs she needed, but I really liked how QueenE had those spare Templars sort of set up just to make sure that she doesn't lose all storm potential in one single EMP.
Yeah, I think she needed to pull back there. I think she overcommitted, and then she was in a very, very bad position there and got stormed down basically, and then her own army just blended away, and that forced Miyako into a loss, and QueenE takes the first game. But of course we are in the last set of 3, so Miyako still has a chance.
Yes.
Way back into this.
I'll be hosting the next game actually, so I'll just have to wait for the pick that Miyako is going to be making.
That's right.
If we get Overgrowth again. That's like the most popular
Did
map.
Miyako pick Overgrowth last time?
I think it was QueenE who picked it, but I mean they really like that map for some reason.
They didn't proxy last time though, so maybe
no
we
proxy.
can see something. We want to see something. Bring in the battle cruiser again, that was fun.
Yeah, this is really awkward because I'm a lefty, so like you see me using my right hand, but like it feels really sort of unnatural. So I'm doing this, like I'm stretching over with my left, and it just looks so weird.
You're so weird.
I'm lefty. It's not easy.
So, yeah, QueenE. Can she pull out this last game? Miyako has to win now 2 games in a row for this to qualify. And question is if she is the woman up to do it.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We're waiting for her pick. Now,
so it's been a long day, isn't it?
It's been a very long day, but now everything is on the line in this potentially final game. If QueenE is able to, you know, make it a 2-0 in this last series,
then we're done here for the day.
Or is Miyako going to be able to tie things up, go 1-1, bring it to the final ace match of things? And the pick is Merry-Go-Round.
Oh yeah.
One map that has it's quite easy to drop for the Terran. That you can be very aggressive, Hellions into the natural, Mines and Marines, or just Marines into the main. So. We'll see if Miyako can
pull her way back.
Yeah.
We already saw her do this once before, so it's not looking all too dark for Miyako, to be honest. I mean, she does have the firepower to pull through this, but there's a lot of things that Miyako needs to pull in her strings to make this come forward, I think.
That is true. I'm just inviting everyone to the lobby. Like I said, map is Merry-Go-Round. That is going to be Miyako's pick. It's TVP.
Do you think more mine drops, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she really likes, playing with them early meta maps.
Merry-Go Run is a really good drop map. Because you have a very good base all-round where you can just poke in and drop wherever and whenever. So, what do you think of Merry-Go Round? Do you miss it?
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's not one of my favorite maps, but I mean, everything is better than Dreampool.
Everything is better.
Like, people ask me, like, do you like Silnaga Cat? Oh no, it's in Dreampool. I mean, okay, all Dream map. I miss every map pool that's not Dreampool. Okay.
I miss every map that is not in the Dream Pool.
Yeah.
That's basically what you're saying.
Anyway, this is not in the Dream Pool, and it is merry-go-round. Let's jump into the potentially final game of this evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in here on merry-go-round. Spawning in the bottom position here, we have a blue Protoss QueenE playing from My Insanity.
And her opponent wearing the purple dress.
The dress.
Yeah, the purple dress spawning top right, representing Team LDLC and France. She is none other than Miyako. That was actually very well timed. Thank you, tech guy. Thank you, Qruxel Studios, by the way, for hosting us and holding us as their guests tonight. It's been a brilliant day here in the studio in Stockholm, Sweden. And
it's very, very dark inside, but inside here it's bright.
It's bright as broad day. We've got these super powerful lights directed at our faces. But yeah, it's been a long day for me at least. What have you been doing?
I played WoW.
Well, I used to play that game. I know how time-consuming it is.
I pulled a pug through Molten Core. It took like 4 hours.
Oh my god. I hate pugs. Like
basically everything is surrounded by pugs.
Yeah,
these
yeah,
days.
but the thing
It's
is,
so
like, I
boring.
hate pugs so much. Pugs, by the way, guys, for you who like don't know what the terminology is, it's a pickup group where you team up with randoms, pretty much, like no friends and stuff. So you can't really communicate well. You can't really rely on each other. I hate pickup groups so much to the point of where I'm racist towards pickup groups.
How can you be racist against the terminology?
The thing is, like, I've suffered so much, like so many hours of my life wasted away in pickup groups.
So you did play WoW?
Yeah, I played World of Warcraft since like the beta of vanilla up to like before Firelands and Cataclysm.
You're more hardcore than me.
Like I hardcore raided for like 5 years.
I see. I wasn't pulled in before like the second.
Burning Crusade.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the best expansion.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, anyway, guys, now we go on tangents about everything, don't we? But that's because we're so passionate gamers.
And we know these macro games are gonna pull out a bit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's not much
To
to add
talk
in
about.
here. Like, these guys are very familiar with their macro games. They have been playing macro games like all night against each other. Like, no one of these players are like pulling up some something odd or something really aggressive in the early gates and stages. Did the QueenE decide not to pull on that expansion?
Oh no, she gets engineering
thing.
blocked. This is so annoying to deal with. There's no Zella either, because I think she did cancel that. So I mean, and now with this Reaper coming along, no Mothership Core either. This is so annoying for QueenE, and I don't know, maybe this is enough to throw her off to, like, give Miyako the advantage in terms of in psychological warfare.
Yeah, this Reaper is gonna poke in here and do as much damage as he can, and of course get a little scouting information out there. She's gonna get. Did you get one probe in the natural and now second
Yeah, 2 probes so far.
so
Does force more off. Mothership Core does spawn. There we go. Now she should be able to force this Reaper out. And can QueenE pick that off? No, the Reaper. The Zealot is hacking away at that engineering bay. So should bring MSC in here as well to help out, to fend off the Reaper. Because I mean, it's really annoying.
that Reaper is actually chunking off some weight on that Zealot.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, needs to be very careful against the Stalker and Mothership Core. There's the cancel, so now finally QueenE can plant down that expansion. We have the natural CC and factory being added in here, though, for Miyako. So it looks as if she's once again ramping up to go into that drop play. Not really lining things up as perfectly as we've seen in previous games, but I would not be surprised, at least, to see drop play come out of her.
That's right. We haven't seen that much drop play from Miyako. I mean, we saw those early mine drops, but that was basically it. Like in the Marine Marauder medevac composition, you always want to like poke your opponent with a drop and just tore your bases apart. But that's of course something. I mean, like it's hard like already to macro your game apart, and it's really easy to like get into a mode where you're like just macroing and just completely focus and just get into that mythology and not really thinking about, oh, maybe I should just use this force that's not doing anything with a poke or something like that. But I mean, these guys are in Masters, so we're not talking Grandmaster, but these guys are still very good. I mean,
that's like the top 2% globally anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, you're not bad in any sense. But now we have one mine on the way and a medevac. Does interestingly enough go for the Tech Lab. Is that going to be for Fast Raven or a Banshee play? QueenE, by the way, has planted out pylons, of course, just to spot those drops in the main. So, I mean, so far looking fairly good. Opening up once again in the safest way possible with that 5-minute robo to get those observers out. Oh, Blue Flame, what is this?
Oh, really?
Is this going to be
hello?
a Hellbat drop? No.
Or is the Hellion Blue Flame drop?
I don't know, this is crazy, but we have a drop
She's
loading
actually pulling up a drop here. 1 mine and
a bunch of Marines.
6 Marines.
Yes. Now we have a Hellion in production. I think she's just going to set up to go for like massive drop styles on this map. QueenE once again going for that Robo and Forge to get the Colossus production going.
Maybe Miyako has learned that what's breaking her apart is QueenE's all these drops, so maybe she's want to pay it forward a while.
Yeah, absolutely. Could very well be the case. Now, third CC being added in here. Now, QueenE does see this. The question is, does she pay attention? Will she notice the drop in time? Because, I mean, the mine going in can actually do massive damage. She sees the Tech Lab researching something, and there we go. Medevac does boost into the lane, and QueenE reacting lightning speed and actually not focusing down the Medevac. I really wish she would. I mean, she might lose a bunch of pros. Only loses 3 to that mine. Okay, that's good.
She's gonna lose the Medevac, and all those Marines goes down. But a little mine there is gonna be an annoyance.
Yeah, but the pickoff of the Medevac is huge. So that was really well done by QueenE.
Yeah.
Not taking like barely any damage whatsoever. And I mean, because of this, she does have a significant supply advantage. Okay, it's not significant, but she does have a supply advantage. It actually looked bigger. The number looked bigger than it actually is. That was just my brain playing tricks on me.
The double engineering bay coming down here for Miyako. She isn't pulling out these turrets as of yet. She usually is really early with those.
Yeah, she.
And that observer.
Wait,
is
look
so
at this! Look at this!
keen.
Now, no, this drop is gonna get intercepted. She's used the booster. She can't escape from these stalkers. She's gonna lose the
too
medevac
late,
and the 2
yeah.
Hellbats, and that's huge. And now QueenE is actually looking to go for an Immortal Bust. She's dropping cannons in her mineralized defensively to make sure she can't, get counterattacked. And now 2 more bunkers going down here at the natural ramp of Miyako, who's right now, she's setting up with a drop on the right-hand side, but the Mothership Core isn't here. Now Guardian Shield goes down,
She's trying
good
to
force
prepare as
shields.
much as possible, but it's not enough.
The Immortal is not actually in contact here, but the drop going down in the natural right now. Let's see, we can't know if that is doing any damage. There we go, the Hellbats are now connecting with that cannon, but this Immortal is actually offering so much additional firepower to break these bunkers, and the drop does get cleaned up here, so Miyako doesn't actually get too much, and QueenE is breaking the natural here of Miyako, forcing a lift off. I mean, there's barely any units here for our Protoss player, but it's still enough to force the natural to lift up, and Miyako needs to get out of there.
Yeah, Miyako is looking very way in the dark here. This is the last map. She has to pull it through if she wants to conquer this tournament. But QueenE is already in her house. It's knocking on the door. Miyako is pulling a lot of her drones. SCVs. And she's trying to do some kind of defenses, but the army value she has is not prominent enough to take care of this Immortal, and is doing so much damage.
Yeah, needs to be very careful. I mean, like I said, no close warp-in point. There we have a pylon being dropped down. That's going to get focused down by by all of the workers and the Hellbat and Marines. But now QueenE does pull back. She has a pylon in the center of the map. She really needs to start whooping in more units. She's at 3 gateways, Colossi on the way, and I think that, to be honest, with a follow-up attack from QueenE, I think Miyako's just gonna, fall over and die, because she took so much damage from that.
Yeah, she was also pushed into her main base. She's taking some harassment there in the mineral line. Yes, a couple of sellers walked in here. It's gonna get cleaned up though, but Miyako is still trembling.
Yeah, and QueenE once again going towards the front to put on additional pressure. 2 observers here. And I mean, this Immortal, like I said, offering so much additional firepower, it really makes it so much harder to sort of just directly engage, just because of how much damage output that Immortal offers.
Yeah, she has a Picato with that. His forces is just shipping away all of Miyako's defense or production facilities, and I don't think I'm finding it hard to see how she can pull out of this, because she is so squeezed in right now, and back home QueenE is just trembling with a lot of production is just skyrocketing right now.
Yeah, actually, look at this. The Colossus is trapped with that pylon is blocking the path. So no Colossus or any unit can actually come out of that Robo. But now the SCV pull is happening. The Marines are actually really weak. Not even stim, no combat shield, no nothing. These are completely naked Marines. And I think that QueenE is going to be the one to advance on in this final best of 3. There's even a texture to take out the mine. So yeah, she's done. Look at the supply difference. QueenE doubling her opponent.
Yeah. It actually looks like that, but now QueenE actually decides to pull back. She doesn't want to finish off
instead of breaking the pylon, she has a second Robo.
Yeah.
But yeah, Blink is on the way, +1 armor, and even this Warp in with the Warp Prism really gonna slow down the mining of her opponent. Breaking up the ramp once again. These bunkers have no time to finish.
She's 22 SCVs left, and she has to use these two.
Yeah, QueenE is going for the kill.
Back, but it's not gonna be enough. These SCVs are not doing anything at all to make this, to push back QueenE at all. And now QueenE is just on the home turf. She is squeezing in Miyako one last time, and the GG is called. QueenE is the one to take the game.
And QueenE thus is the winner of ESL Ladies Night.
Yeah, congratulations to QueenE, of course. I'm not completely sure if we're gonna maybe have a winner's interview. Yes, we actually are, so stay just a couple of seconds here and we might get a QueenE on the line.
Yeah, hopefully. Now,
very good offensive there. It wasn't really that long of a macro game. They just...
No, I mean, it barely turned into a macro game.
No.
QueenE just took that and was like, no, you know what, screw it. I'm tired of this. Time to
go in and go for the throat.
Time to die. And she went for the throat, and I think that was a great decision.
Yeah, indeed. It was really nice to watch these women come out here and compete today. And big shout out to all the women, all 8 of you who came out here today to play in this tournament. It has been a blast.
Yeah, but shout out also to you guys working with the production and everything,
backstage,
and of course to everyone watching. We can't do anything without you guys. So big shout out to you.
Yes. A big shout out to us.
Big shout out to everyone working so hard in this community. Now, we hopefully will have an interview with the winner of this tournament. And we'll just have to wait for a second before we can jump into that. Now, what are your thoughts, after these games, after the series? We saw a close, 2 best of 3s. They've even played a total of 3.
I know that we follow QueenE throughout this whole series, and that has been we rooted for QueenE probably.
I did from the start. I was like, yeah, let's follow QueenE.
I can't be BM Swede,
Yeah, a bit biased maybe.
Yeah.
No, but she's Protoss, man. So she picked the right race.
She is the correct race, and. But it's so fun to watch these women come out here and play and actually compete on a kind of a similar level. Miyako's way of putting QueenE back in that. I don't think we have ever seen that in these ESL female tournaments before.
Such a back and forth.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, usually it's very home clean sweep for somebody, but it's very, very fun to see that they are evening up each other, and they are still home practicing a lot and coming in, trying again, and you see that they are actually progressing. Miyako has been in this tournament for quite a while, and when she started, I mean, she was probably getting to the semifinals at best, but then she actually made it through and got to the finals and won the whole cup once, and now she see her competing against QueenE, and she's part of Team LDLC, and that's also something prominent to be proud about, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, ending up runner-up now, so falling short against QueenE, still, quite a feat to make it that far.
Absolutely. It's probably a very tiresome day for everyone involved.
It's been a long day here at Qruxel Studios.
A very fine evening here.
It's a lot darker outside from when I arrived.
You arrived early in the morning, so
yeah, I got around 10.
Was there sun this morning?
Sunday morning?
Sun.
A little,
A little.
I think.
It's always so cloudy, so you don't really see the sun anymore. It's just clouds, and then it's dark, and then it's clouds.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm actually uncertain of how that went. Now we're still waiting for the green light. If we're getting a winner's interview with
Hopefully to speak with QueenE. We want to hear what she's
yeah, what her
thinking,
thoughts
how
are.
she feels, and everything like that. I mean, she just came home from Azerbaijan.
Oh yeah, maybe she's still
She
jet
just got,
lagged.
like 1 week ago, I think.
Okay, maybe not jet lagged after a week.
No, but like
Are you easily jet lagged? I am.
after my America trip, I was.
Oh yeah, you went to BlizzCon.
Yes.
That is sick. Like
That
the
was
the
awesome.
finals, like the stage they had
The
to start off.
stage, you should have
was
seen it in real life.
Insane.
It was,
It
yeah.
looked so sick on stream.
We were like watching it, and we were like gasping, and everyone else was like stuck in the entrance because everyone was just looking up and see this whole thing, and it was just, it was god awesome.
Yeah, okay. We do have an interview coming up, so just hang around.
And here we go. Hello, do you hear us?
Hello. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
we hear you
awesome.
clearly.
Yay.
Hello, QueenE. Well played and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Now, that was Miyako actually really pulling her weight there, making that in that first best of 3 in the finals. Both of you playing really well, but now in the last one, you just like, no, I've had enough. And yeah, I've been saying that old cast, like, just go for the kill. And then you just went for the kill, and I really like that.
Yeah, I figured her out, like, after the... Like, we did play 3 best of 3, so you have a lot of games to kind of gather information from. So, seeing that, like, her kind of play style, and then when I saw her unit count after her Widowmine drop, I just thought, well, I can just crush through this, I think. And I did float a bit of minerals and stuff, because I normally play a very, very defensive game, and I very rarely go for the offensive game style, but I felt that I could probably exploit it a little bit, and I was right. So, yay!
Yeah, I really want to talk a bit about, like, you seem to get really comfortable, like, around the late game, where you can start harassing very actively, because, I mean, you were so good and, like, did lots of damage, you know, pulling your opponent apart, like we saw the game on Nimbus that you played, versus how it went with the battle cruisers. You were all over the map, and you just took control of the entire left-hand side there, and just looked really comfortable.
Yeah, I do like to play aggressive when it comes to late game. Like, I really like multi-prong harass when it comes to late game, but it's, as I said, like, I prefer a more defensive game style up until the very late game. And then after that, like, I love going up to, you know, Tempest, Storm, Colossus kind of thing.
Like
Because,
the ultimate Protoss army.
Yes, exactly.
Ultimate death ball.
Yeah, but I really like it because you're like, I feel like you have a bit of a Terran approach toward the Protoss late game, so the roles kind of get reversed. Not too many Protoss do that. I personally really like that.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it is. But how do you feel now? It's been a long day.
I was actually not planning on playing a tournament. I was just like, as you mentioned before, I just came back from Azerbaijan, and that was a very, very interesting experience for me. I did not perform the way I hoped I would, which really set me back. I've been really sad lately because of that, because I didn't live up to my own expectations. And it was just, I thought that, well, screw it. If I'm gonna get back into competing, I might as well just start in an environment where I feel safe and people are nice. So having these female-only tournaments was like, yeah, I think I could, without, you know, feeling too sad about it. Even if I lost, then this would be a safe environment for me to get back on the horse, so to speak. So I just went for it, and it went all right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's very fun to hear that you approach this female tournament with a happy hand. We have seen Madelis compete in this tournament before, and we have also seen you today, of course. But you're very positive about these female tournaments.
Yeah, I am. Like, the thing is, I think everyone has seen the Fragbite Master stuff, and competing in multi, like in the mixed tournaments, often brings a lot of hate. So having these female tournaments, you feel a lot safer, and you kind of, you know, you dare take the step to actually compete a little bit more often. So for me, having female-only tournaments is pretty important, just in order to, you know, dare take the step to actually compete. So I love that you do this. It's amazing.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think it's like a really good stepping stone to sort of, you know, open up esports access to everyone, just because it is, in some circumstances, it kind of becomes a dodgy subject when you have the mixed tournaments. Of course, the Frag by Masters thing is a bit of an upset, and like I've always been a fan of Cass, and I'm surprised that phrase things like that. I mean, it saddens me, but I'm happy that he learned from the experience. Sincerely apologized.
Yeah, I think it was a wake up call for the majority of the industry. Like I think
hope so.
everyone, all the parties involved, though, like I gotta give Cass a hand for that. Like everyone acted really professionally about it, like in how they dealt with it and how they reacted afterwards. Just the community shitstorms that followed afterwards. But everyone involved, I think I'm very impressed by everyone that was involved in the whole situation. But yeah, I really think that these female tournaments are doing some good works, because it is making at least a few more, even if it's just maybe 5 or 10 each time, then at least that's 5 or 10 more girls that dare compete in esports, which I think is great. So
yeah, absolutely.
It also invites more people to come out here and test their grounds, and also maybe you started playing a female tournament once back in the day, and then also a lot of other people are used to testing their grounds here for the first time, maybe not coming back, but at least they are testing their way in, and the more people that are testing are actually also more people coming into the scene at all. So we are very happy to produce this kind of content for you. Yeah,
it's really great. I'm enjoying it a lot. Most of my work has actually been out of this, I haven't run a lot of female-only tournaments, so I mean, for me, it's a really fun and new experience. And it sort of lets me look at some new players I haven't seen before, and that gives me more stuff to talk about. And I really like to comparing player styles. Seeing, is this something that's specific for only this player, etc., etc. So I'm really stoked that I get the chance to do this, and I'm definitely going to be working to cast more, because hopefully I'll be seeing you more at the top. But I'm really curious, how was your trip to Azerbaijan? Like, were there any cultural shocks when you first came there? Because I mean, I'm really interested to hear, how the trip went in general. Like,
well, it wasn't obviously. If you go and search, travel to Azerbaijan, there's going to be a lot of, don't go there! Okay, Jesus, so you didn't really know what to expect. But when we got there, I just got to say, Baku is absolutely beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful cities I've ever seen, I think. Traffic is completely crazy. That, they have no rules. Which, I mean, they make it work for a Swede like myself. We like our rules.
Yeah.
That was a little bit hectic, but overall, the experience in itself was amazing. The place we lived at was amazing. The venue was amazing. Everything was really, really cool. And the people there were super nice and friendly. And overall, it was a great experience. But yeah, the only thing that was scary was the traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
Sounds
when you
really
travel.
good. Talking more about you, QueenE, what are you looking up here in the near future?
In the near future, oh Jesus, what am I actually doing now? It's been so much stuff leading up to the IESF and all that stuff that I've just basically just poured all my energy into that one event. And now that that's over and done with, I guess I'm just looking to see what the future brings me. Obviously, I'm going to be at DreamHack Winter. I will probably be a bit challenged by people, like we did at NERCON, Lucas. You're challenging me. Yeah.
Yeah. People ask me, and I'm like, yeah, we played, and I got wrecked. I'm going to be forever salty about that. But we will do that at DreamHack as well. So if people want to come to DreamHack and they want to play some StarCraft with me and just hang out, talk esports, then definitely come to DreamHack, because I'll be there. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Now, what are there any other events you're going to be attending, including DreamHack stuff? I can understand after IESF, the finals, it's sort of dying down now. All the build up and stuff. So what are you going to do now in the cool-off period except streaming?
I guess because now I just recently, 2 months back, I started playing full time, which is new to me. And I'm working with a sports psychologist. I have some really good friends and teammates and stuff to practice with. So right now, after all of this, having done all of this, I just want to practice more and get better. So right now, I'm going to focus a lot on practicing, actually. I'm not sure how my streaming schedule will look like because of that. I really want to focus. One of my big goals for the next year is before the end of next year, I hope to be able to reach Grandmasters at least once. So we'll see how that goes. So that'll be my aim. Apart from all the small tournaments, it probably is going to emerge, next year. It's always hard to tell how the future is going to be because we're so close to the next year. And I feel like there's new tournaments popping up and old ones dying down, and there's always a fleeting kind of synergy in esports from year to year. So it's going to be exciting. I'm excited for 2015.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, like, as a closing question, after BlizzCon, what are your thoughts about Legacy of the Void? How do you feel about that?
I'm excited. It's new. It's shiny. It's Protoss.
Yeah, so I said that. You're playing the best race.
Right? No,
Best
I mean,
expansion is yet to come.
exactly. They save the best for last, you know. That's
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's how you do it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Typical Blizzard. Let's hope we don't have to wait for, like, what is that, 10 years?
Yeah, well, they did say
Hopefully.
that they hope to roll out beta in the first quarter of 2015 or something
Yeah.
like that. So, cross our fingers that it's not soon. Yeah,
Yeah, well, I think Blizzard soon is, relative. So,
yeah, exactly.
yeah, but
Any shout-outs you want to make or
yeah.
something before we close you off?
Yeah, definitely big shout out to everyone who's supporting these, who's watching these tournaments, because it is making a big difference for us smaller players that are female, because it is a great stepping stone for everyone who cheered and all that stuff. Also, big shout out to my team and their sponsors, Bison, Esport Clothing, Logitech, and World of CD Keys, which is the newest one. And also, huge shout out to my personal stream sponsor, which is Overclockers UK, where you can get all the cool, fancy stuff that I use to stream.
Awesome. Thank you so very much, Queen. And once again, congratulations on closing in our first ladies' night today. And we wish you a great evening.
Yeah, you take care.
You too.
So that was Queenie. She was very happy, though.
Yeah, absolutely. She looked very content there with the result. Well played, very well played.
For all the females, very well played.
Yeah, so all of you
tonight.
have worked really hard. Good job. And yeah, this has been the ESL Ladies Night, and I think we're going to be, closing off tonight's show.
Yes, indeed. Coming up in the near future, we already have next week, guys. Next Sunday, closing in on Ladies Night number 2 as a part of the ESL presentation, where we are going to pull in a lot of more new content for you guys in the new StarCraft 2 page that ESL has brought for us on the new play.eslgaming.com domain. Don't forget to miss that. We actually have prizes for you guys next week. So, and also, even if you are not competing in the games, you can also add polls and everything. So keep your eyes open on ESL page, of course. And don't forget to miss out on the Ladies Night number 2 next week. Of course, don't miss it out. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and do you have any personal shout-outs you want to be doing?
Personal shout-outs, of course, to Stockholm Esports and Qruxel Studios.
Yeah, Qruxel is great.
And we have Team Property, who are both our
Oh
personal
yeah, that's true. We're
Proper
both
boys.
casters for Team Prop. Where's our property swag?
Indeed. Anyhow, and we are sitting in the Qruxel studio here in Stockholm, Sweden. We thank you for all the time and management for our behind-the-scenes guys, of course.
Ludwig, and then our lovely observer Robert Swade, who's been working all day
to bring this to you guys.
Yeah, so today's been really long. It's been tough, but I mean, it's definitely been worth it. So yeah, guys, I think this is going to conclude the ladies' night from ESL.
Yes, boss.
And I'm Tenshi for Team Property.
And I'm Zolor. See you guys next time.
To this war.